Hi, I'm Lucy James, and I listen to the One Up Gaming podcast.
Hi, I'm Keith Allen, and I play Murphy on Z Nation, and I listen to One Up Gaming podcast.
Welcome to our podcast. We've got a lot to say about all the latest games you're gonna wanna play. We'll tell you what's on Xbox, PS3, PC, and more. We'll chat about some random stuff till you're rolling on the floor. This is One Up Gaming. Sit back and grab a drink. It's time to give a listen to what we have to think.
Welcome to the One Up Gaming podcast. 177, I think. Now, I don't feel well at all, so because of that, I can't talk. So I am going to just play our most downloaded podcast ever, which is the first part of the 100th podcast special, where we have special guests. So we have people from Running with Scissors, we have people from the Geek Apocalypse, I'm trying to think who else we have. I'm sure we have other people as well. But, I mean, like, we're coming up, as I say, that's like 70 odd episodes ago, so that's like a year and a half ago, give or take. So, anyway, I will just let Justin speak, and then we'll come straight on to our 100th live special. So, thank you all. We'll be back next week. I'm on holiday, so I might just put up the second part of the live special where we talk to John Hare. So, without further ado, take it away, Justin.
Hey guys, Justin here. I wanted to take a minute to talk to you about this thing we're really getting into here at One Up Gaming. It's called the Eagle Box, and it's a tiny Android console that, with a high-quality wireless controller, connects to your TV via HDMI. And then it gives you instant access to all kinds of retro games. It comes pre-installed with Android TV and the movie apps and all the fun stuff like Kodi that you would expect from an Android box. But in addition to that, I mean, this is like me going off and saying, but wait, there's more! It can play PS1, MAME, Dreamcast, N64, Neo Geo, Atari, NES, SNES, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Sega Master System, Sega Mega Drive, or, you know, Sega Genesis back in the real world, what do you want to call it, Commodore 64, Amiga, ZX Spectrum, you know, I mean, I could go on for days with the amount of games that this thing can play. And if, by chance, you happen to run out of memory, it has an expandable memory slot too, so you can keep adding on to your game library if that's your thing. Unlike a lot of these other Android-based consoles out there, it supports up to 1080p, it includes a TV remote, and I can't speak highly enough about this thing. It does everything you'd want it to, and it's a media device too. So, if you're into quality retro gaming, and I know Nintendo has this NES Classic console coming out in November, and it's going to be $60 US or whatever. But you can start now. I mean, you could play these games on your TV right now, rather than having to wait, and probably not even be able to get a unit, one of those NES Classic consoles due to sheer nostalgic demand. I mean, the pre-orders are going to be crazy. Why go through that when you can get an Eagle Box from One Up Gaming right now and start playing those classic games right now? And then, when you're done playing games, I mean, you could watch movies and do a host of other things, media-related, all in one device. It comes with a wireless controller. It comes with a TV remote. And you can record live TV if you want. I mean, this is one of these things it does. It's a full media device. It can record virtually anything you want to do on Android, you can do on here because it is a full Android device. And for those of you familiar with Kodi, it comes with that pre-installed. So, go to One Up Gaming, go to our website, okay? Check it out, and get yourself an Eagle Box. Don't bother going to eBay. Who knows what's going to be there. I mean, you never know what you're getting out of eBay. I mean, how many times have I been burned? I can't even count the times that I've been burned through eBay. But know that you're getting a quality device through One Up Gaming that's going to do all your retro games, and some fairly modern ones too, and all your media stuff too, right in your living room, right now. No need to wait. So, go to the One Up Gaming website, check it out, and I think you'll like it. Anyway, back to the show. Hey guys, Justin here. I wanted to take a moment to congratulate the guys at 1UP Gaming for a massive 100 episodes. That's over 2 years of keeping it consistent and keeping it real. Plenty of podcasts have come and gone in those 2 years, but you kept it strong the whole time. So thanks for everything.
It's Conte. It's 1UP. Congratulations, yo. Celebrating history with the 100th episode. It's 1UP. We going hard today. Mocha on the track with me. 1UP Gaming here to stay. It's 1UP. Yeah. We're the best, that's what we're claiming. That's what we claiming. It's the 100th episode. Yeah. Listen up, here comes the host. 100th episode.
Hey! Happy 100 podcast. That was spectacular. That was worthy of Michael Bay.
That was... Right, so I've moved me... Right then. Hi, we're live with the 1UP Gaming podcast.
Hey!
I'm setting my camera up, so I'm going to record it.
It's a slightly unorthodox start to the podcast.
Yeah. Very unorthodox. Right, so... Yeah, so sorry about the candles. We could only get one to work. I think it'd been easier with a lighter.
These days, candles are just too complicated. They used to be so much simpler.
Reckon?
They made it too complicated.
Can you actually hear me?
Yeah.
That's right then. Because I can't see what's happening. It's just
You've got a lovely picture of your flat.
It's the spare bedroom.
You've got a lovely spare bedroom.
Thank you.
Lovely decorations.
Right, so that's recording. Right, so I'll come back over. Oh God, I nearly fell over. Right. Oh. Right then.
Welcome to the 1UP Gaming podcast, number 100.
I'll move the clip down because I don't think we need that anymore.
With your host, Zach Garvey.
Oh, we're there. Yeah, I maybe should have. Right, so is that... Right, so how do I get it so it goes on to... There we go. So now if you speak, it'll be you. Right.
Right, yay. Hello again.
There we go.
There we go. See, I'm back.
We know what we're doing here.
Yeah, we're professionals.
Yeah, we don't know where Eddie is. He's just not...
Eddie's gone. Don't know where he is. Perhaps he's put himself in his own little area of exile.
Yeah, probably. It might be the best thing.
Brilliant.
Right then, so I guess we would have to say again, welcome to the 1UP Gaming podcast, episode 100. Where there, watch this. See how loud it is. I'm sorry if it hurts people's ears. Oh, there we go.
That was terrifying. Please don't do it again.
String.
Wear that across your head like a wig.
No.
No? Oh.
Yeah, so, yeah. Right. Don't know what we're doing now.
What are we going to do, David? What's so special about the podcast 100?
Nothing.
Oh. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I guess we have got loads of prizes to give away.
Lots of prizes.
Yeah, people like
what
prizes.
What sort of prizes, David?
Well, Microsoft were good enough to give us some goodie bags.
Goodie bags?
Yeah. They were very vague on that and they haven't arrived yet, so I can't actually say what's in them.
I hope there's an Xbox One in each of them. That'd be nice. Or like a Windows watch. Do they exist yet?
It's not a Windows watch, it's actually the Microsoft Band. So we've got loads of codes from Master Tonic. and that's all Steam codes. So we've got 4 games from them.
Excellent.
We've got some codes from Running with Scissors. So we've got Postal 2 and the new DLC, The Paradise Lost, which I had a quick go on yesterday, which, again, my streaming ability is amazing.
Hilarious game, Postal 2.
Yeah, but you didn't see my stream, did you?
No, I didn't.
It recorded the intro and it was just a black screen, my little face in the bottom corner. So that was great.
Oh, God. That's
And thanks to Head Up Games, we've got some games from them. And again, thank you, Microsoft. We've got some goodie bags to give out from them.
when they're here.
Yeah, when they arrive. They should be here tomorrow or Monday. And we've also got a copy of the new Commodore Amiga book
Oh,
to give away.
nice.
So
Very
that's another thing to give away. I think that's it for the giveaways. I'm not going to go into any details until, we get more. Or should we give something away straight away?
Yeah, go for it. Do something now, right now.
Right then, so how should we give something away?
What's 8 plus 10?
No,
Whoever
that's
gets the
too
first. That's too. You're underestimating our audience.
We're not. We are so not.
Oh God, no! You're supposed to be making them feel happy, David. You're supposed to make them feel special, not intelligence. Oh no, you never know. 8 plus 10. Come on, guys. Whoever gets it right first gets a free code.
So what? 8 plus 10.
8 plus 10.
Yeah. So anyone in the chat, if you
we-
just sort of like write in there like 8 plus 10.
Is it just going to
what's
be
the
it's on
answer?
Twitch? Yeah, it's on Twitch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know on the Google Hangouts if they can talk to us or not, or if it is just on.
I think it's just Twitch.
Yeah, so everyone, if you're on, it just said beer.
Beer. Excellent. Not quite. Almost
No,
there.
I don't have beer, but I do have the new Coca-Cola Life.
Oh, I hate that stuff.
I've never tried it apart from now.
I really don't like it, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I've got
So
the official stuff right next to me.
yeah, you got your official stuff, have you?
Yeah, the official stuff. Not the Cocoa
Yeah,
Life,
so we're
not
still
official.
waiting on anyone to say what is 10 plus 8, and we'll give you a free code.
Come on, guys. Come on, guys. I believe in you.
If you can just sort of write the answer plus the actual name of the company that you'd like. So we have, again, let's go through the prizes. We've got codes from Head Up Games, Running with Scissors, or Master Tonic.
Master Tonic.
Yeah. And do you know how hard it is? Oh god, that's rubbish. Did you just write
Oh, yeah.
ELO?
I did by accident. I thought it was on my account, and I was going to try and join in, but then I realised I was on the official account, and I've just said hello. My bad.
That's alright.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Well, I don't think anyone's
my
talking to
password
us
is.
on there.
I can't remember what my password is. Oh, damn it.
Not now. Yeah, Zach, if you can sign in on Twitch,
I'm
even
trying.
if it's on our official one,
Yeah.
I can get rid of the Twitch stream because it might affect my streaming.
Hey,
And
that's a fair
then
point.
you handle all the communications with Twitch people,
I'll handle everything Twitch.
and I'll just keep the Twitter up because that shouldn't affect too much.
And you sign in. Hey, I remembered the password. How about that?
What, yours or mine?
No, yours.
Alright,
I can't remember what mine is.
let's not say what it
You know
was.
what? You know what? I can't remember what my username is, actually. I thought it was just my name, but I'm not sure if it is anymore.
Ah. There we go.
Right, I am in.
I thought I'd lost the link to send to Mike to get on, because I think we've talked enough nonsense about ourselves. Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do something. Let's do something.
Let's actually get
wild.
someone sort of like famous on.
Eddie.
No, we don't need Eddie.
We don't need
Actually,
Eddie.
well, we do. We need Eddie, but it'd be nice if he was here to start with.
Well, he's an absolute plonker.
So are you now on
I'm in.
the Twitch?
I'm in. I introduced myself because
Right.
I
So
feel like I
I'll
should.
get out of that then. There we go. We've got someone joining us.
Do 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 do.
Guys,
Do do.
Hello, Mike.
what's up?
Yo, how's it going?
Good, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, David?
I'm fine, I think.
Good.
Excellent.
I
Right.
tell you what, Mike, you look as though you work out.
I've lifted a weight or two.
Oh, wait, or two.
Yeah, you know,
Probably at the same time, you know, but it's a bit even.
maybe.
I like the little logo sign behind you.
Oh yeah, they're all over here, sitting on the floor. I didn't actually put that up for this, it just happens to be there.
It just happens to be.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm
I
not
didn't-
wearing a shirt because I'm promoting it. I just happen to be wearing it.
I mean, I wanted to do this. I wanted to put like a cupboard or something behind me, so I could put up a lot of our logos and sign stuff behind me. But my girlfriend wouldn't let me move stuff from the room.
Sounds like you're kind of a bitch.
You're whips, David. You're whips.
Yep.
So on my old CRT TV, I've got this Sensible Soccer book, well, Sensible Software, and 2 Sensible Software signed games there.
It also looks like you have a very modern television back there.
I got it given off a mate in about 96.
Yeah.
90.
And I've kept it with me all this time for one simple reason. I've got every single...
You're reaching for a different time.
No, I've got every single light gun game for the PlayStation 2. And the light gun games only work on the old CRT TVs.
Oh.
So that's the reason why. It moves everywhere with me. It's travelled thousands of miles.
You've carried that thing thousands of miles?
Yeah. So I guess
Right.
we'll sort of say, Mike,
Yeah.
when Postal, the original, came out, there was a hell of a lot of, let's just say, a shitstorm.
Oh, you know, it was a different time. Back then, games were, you know, shoot the aliens, shoot the Space Marines. There was no games where you could shoot people and for no reason. And we came out with a game where you could do that, so it became a problem. I don't know. Doesn't seem like much of a problem anymore, but somehow we still get a bad rap. I don't know.
I mean, you said that, but can you see any similarities between what you guys did back in, was it 98 or something like that, and what Hatred? that
Hatred?
game? Yeah.
Well, that's my point, and look, I'm not against anything anybody does. I feel like anybody should make any game they want. I haven't played Hatred. I can't say it's a good or a bad game. I know they're fans of ours, which we appreciate. But, yeah, no, they're getting the flack that we got back in the 90s, and while, you know, every game presents its violence in a different light, they definitely don't hide behind theirs at all. There's no humor. It's not funny. It's very serious, and they're not shying away from that at all. And, you know, good for them. They should stand up for their game and their guns. We've kind of taken a different path ever since around 2002, and we've focused more on humor, and not for any other reason than we like to laugh. You know, we don't make games that anybody else tells us to make. We don't make games that we don't want to play. We don't make games that we don't laugh at. We make games that we want to play, and we make games that we want to laugh at. So if you don't like our game, then, I mean, you know, go fuck yourself. We don't really care. If you're not our fan, we don't care about you. If you want to talk shit about it, cool. I mean, the truth is, there's a lot of funny shit on TV that I love, and there's a lot of supposed to be funny shit on TV that I absolutely hate. I mean, look at 2.5 Men. I think it's the worst show ever put on TV, but it's number one, universally loved. Everybody thinks it's the funniest shit around. I can't watch 5 minutes of it. Then I'm an Arrested Development fan. I know it has a huge fan base now, but the show got canceled from TV because nobody could follow it. I mean, humor is subjective. So what we make is we make humorous games now that happen to be violent. Postal 1 is kind of a different story. It had humor in it. It had black humor, but it was definitely a more serious, just kind of guy is nuts. People are shooting at him, so he shoots back. The one thing that we never got credit for with Postal 1 was you're not required to kill the bystanders. You're not rewarded for killing the bystanders. The game only requires you to kill hostiles, and when you finish off 90% of the hostiles on a level, you advance to the next level. That's it. We got known as the game where you kill innocent women and children, despite the fact that we don't have children to kill in the game either. And there's no incentive. You just can. You can shoot anybody. It's your choice. But in Postal 1, you do have to kill people. Whereas Postal 2, Paradise Lost, you have the option to not kill anyone. So, we've kind of taken a different route.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the difference. It just amplifies people's dark side. And people forget it is just fun just to run around and shoot at people. Not in real life.
Well, but that's another thing. It's not a matter of forgetting. I mean, you do have to look at everything from both points of view. I mean, it's fun for me and you to go around shooting people. It's not fun for whoever, let's take Joe Lieberman or any one of these people that protests our games, Leland Yee. It's not fun for them to do this. And instead of just walking away from it or paying no attention to it, they take us out of context and they use us as a scapegoat for things and they blame things on us when, there's a lot of other problems that are much more serious that they're not taking care of, like the crazy kid that shoots up his school. Yeah, he might have been playing video games all day, but odds are he wasn't on any medicine. He wasn't talking to a counselor. He didn't have any mental health guidance or anything. But, whatever the last game he played was, that was probably the cause. And that's just a stupid shortcut route to take when it comes to things, but that's the way we are in society in general. Everybody wants to blame the lowest common denominator, and unfortunately the low-hanging fruit in this scenario, well, historically was us. The low-hanging fruit now is hatred. I can assure you that when the shit goes down after that game is out, they'll be the first game to be blamed for it. We've taken it before. We even took it with Postal 2. We were used as evidence in front of the Supreme Court with the case versus the video game industry, and I mean, why?
Wasn't Postal 2 described as three of the worst things in America?
Postal 1 was.
Postal 1?
Yeah, it was in 1997. Joseph Lieberman, he is a former Democratic, now independent senator from Connecticut. He used to do his yearly review of what's bad for the kids, and his 3 of that year were Marilyn Manson, Calvin Klein jean ads, and
yeah.
So a game where little tiny sprites shoot each other and there's a little bit of blood and screaming was the worst thing for kids that year. The absolute worst, along with Manson. I mean,
yeah.
Every generation has their blame. For years it was rock music. Now it's video games. I mean, they don't even. Movies aren't even in the realm of blame yet. You know what I mean? Like, movies are some of the most violent things we have out today. Movies, TV shows. I don't have a problem with it. But did you watch the new Daredevil? Did you see the new Daredevil show?
I haven't seen it yet, no.
No, I haven't seen it.
Brutal. It's awesome. I love it. It is violent. I mean, really, really, really violent. But you'll never hear that somebody mimicked the Daredevil show and they're going to try to take it off the air or ban it from Netflix. You know, it's just not going to happen. And I think that gets back to interactivity. I mean, someone says, well, because you played a video game, you're now a sniper. And it's like, well, please. I can't. I mean, I've shot plenty of guns. I am not a good gun enthusiast. I can't hit a target just because I played games, you know. I play sports games on the computer. Doesn't mean I can play, you know, in the NFL. It's stupid. It's not really a training. It's more of a way to get your, you know, what's the word? your dreams, do things that you wish you could do. Have an out-of-body experience. But it's interactive. Whereas movies, you watch movies that you like, you watch people do things that you like, and you're just watching instead of. It's more passive, but that doesn't matter. It's the interactivity that they're blaming, despite the fact that the interactivity is not training you at all.
Yeah. I remember, there was a movie that Elijah Wood was part of. That was a movie. It was about a serial killer, but it was done it was filmed from first-person view. And this guy was going around killing people. But
it was a video game movie, wasn't it?
No, was it a video game movie? I can't remember. I don't know. But either way, it seems like...
I don't really watch horror movies per se. I'm more of a comedian.
Yeah. But it's the thing, it's like, you would think that would have a big... a problem with it, but because it's like
you also would think if you look back when Postal 2 came out, there was a game that came out called Manhunt. Okay, the game was 100% a snuff game. It was about they kidnapped a guy and they put him in an arena basically, and they videotaped him killing people that they ordered him to kill. But because Rockstar and Take-Two were the money behind it, there was never any issue with it. It was even sold in Walmart, which we couldn't crack to save our lives. So, it gets, just like anything else, I guess you'd call it big video game money, and if you have big video game money, you don't take a whole lot of blame. And that's not to say Grand Theft Auto hasn't taken its fair share of blame over the years, but they are truly the big dog, and they're the first name that anybody thinks of when they think of violent video games. So, it doesn't matter that they have big money.
To be fair, the original Manhunt, when that came out in the UK, it was out for a couple of weeks, and then there was some, debate about it. And then all the stockists basically would not stock it anymore. It wasn't, banned, but
blacklisted is the word.
All of them took an agreement that they wouldn't stock it and sell it anymore.
That's what happened to Postal, basically.
That was only for about a week, and then after that, it was just as if nothing had happened and everyone was selling it again.
Yeah, that's... Something similar happened with the Punisher game. They made the screen go black and white during the finishing moves, the execution moves. There are these little things that happen with violent games when they come out. They just don't seem to stick. With us, our corner that we were backed into in '97 seems to have never gone away. I'm sure you guys saw we tried to release Postal 1 on the Google Play Store about a month and a half ago, and Google said no. They sell every Grand Theft Auto game. Yeah. They sell every zombie game. They sell every violent and horror movie that they can, and they said no to Postal. And their only reasoning was, violence is not an indicator for us, it's how violence is presented. And I'm like, okay, well, how is our violence presented? We don't benefit you for shooting innocent people. We don't require you to kill innocent people. GTA has missions where you have to shoot people that are not shooting at you. Yeah, it doesn't matter. They don't even respond.
It's interesting to see no one would ever boycott Modern Warfare 2 before
I gave them a list. When I appealed, my appeal was, I don't understand. We got an M on the game. These are the other games you sell that are as violent, if not more violent. Also, incredibly more graphic, because our game is not good graphics. Postal 1 looks like shit. Straight up. It didn't look good in '97, okay? We don't claim to make good-looking games. But our game looks like shit, and these games are much more violent. These movies are much more violent. I don't have a problem. Personally, I don't have a problem. If I have a private store and I don't want to carry your product, that's my choice. Google is their own company. They can choose to not sell our game. That is their right. What I have a problem with is saying no to something in your right hand and saying yes to something with your left hand. And they clearly are doing that. And for whatever reason, they're singling out a game which is for sale on every other digital distribution store known to man right now. Valve sells it. GOG sells it. Freaking Direct to Drive, whatever they're called now. All these other mainstream companies sell it, and Google's like, no. And it's like, all right, well, Mortal Kombat X is up there now. I don't know. That's possibly one of the most violent games I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. But like I said, we've hit a niche. People like us for what we are, and people hate us.
You have a fairly strong fan base, right?
Say that again?
You have a fairly strong fan base.
We do, and it's only gotten bigger since we got on Steam. When we got on Steam back in 2012, things really took off for us, and that's good. I mean, it just goes to show you that the people were there. They just never had access. I mean, we've said it before. Postal 2, while it's not a AAA game, it's not. We admit that, but it's a good game. It was well done. It never looked good for its time. It used a crappy version of an engine that was outdated when it came out. And it was made by a team of guys that had we sat in a room together and, jerked around all day and, basically paid to make the game ourselves. So we know it wasn't great, but it had a lot of fun elements. It had a lot of things that games still to this day don't do, and nobody ever got access to it because when Postal 2 was finished, we couldn't find a regular publisher that would publish it because they were all like, oh, Postal? We know about you guys. It's like, no, what about us? Take a look at the game. No. Okay, thank you. So we had to go the indie route. The game came out in a couple of stores and did well where it came out, and it did really well internationally. Our game was a smash hit in Russia. It was a smash hit in Germany. It was a smash hit in the UK. But none of that really translates to much. We're not looking to be a mainstream game company, but it would be nice to, at some point in your life, be financially rewarded for the things that you've accomplished. And while we had a good time and we did a lot of traveling and met a lot of fans internationally, we hadn't really received any of that acclaim here at home. And, we had the whole Postal 3, we'll blow right past that debacle, and then we got the game on Steam, and, it's just selling hundreds and hundreds of thousands of copies in the U.S.
Yeah.
Now, you can accredit that to the fact that people just buy Steam games because they're cheap or whatever. But a lot of people have bought it, and a lot of people are still buying it. And we get a lot of fan email every day and a lot of tweets just saying, wow, I didn't know about this game. I had heard about it, and I couldn't get it. I'm finally getting to play it. This is really cool. I'm surprised this never made it into my store. Why aren't you guys on console? All these various questions that we don't really have the answer to because we never really had a financial backer that could put us where we needed to be, and that's okay because we kind of relish the fact that we're a cult indie developer, and we kind of like living under the bridge. We're the trolls, and that's okay. We like it.
So, I just want to sort of say I'm quite old. I'd probably be as old as you, to be honest. And when I was 15, 16, I never had... I've always had... I went like Master System, Mega Drive, Saturn, PlayStation, 64. Right. I've always been the console sort of side of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I did have a rich friend who had an all-singing, dancing PC, and they did have Postal 2.
Yeah.
And I played it a couple of times, and I fell in love with how fun just the game itself, the minute-by-minute play of the game. And when I heard that Postal 3 was supposedly coming to 360, I was really singing its praise to everyone. And
well, it was the goal.
And it sort of quietly got shoved under the carpet, and I honestly did not know Postal 3 came out.
Yeah, no, you don't need to know Postal 3 came out. Nobody needs to know Postal 3 came out. Steaming turd that should be forgotten along with the 6 years of my life that I lost to it.
So it was you guys that actually developed it?
No. Yeah, we'll get into it. We'll talk about it. Postal 3 was developed by our partner in Russia who published all of our games there and did very well and treated us very well. And at the time, gaming was huge. The financial institutions around the world, everything was fine. The game started development. We had this great team working on it there that was getting a lot done. And then, you can just like you can blame anything else on it, the economy crashed. And the economy crashing here in the UK was nothing like the economy crashing in Russia. Oil tanked, which caused their dollar value or their ruble value to just plummet. They fight piracy on a very different level than we do around the world. Instead of fighting it, they just compete with it. So games are cheap. There's no such thing as a $60 PC game in Russia. You either sell your game for slightly more than you can buy a pirated one next door. So if a pirated game is $1, you can buy it for $2. If a pirated game is $7, you can buy it for $8. And when the economy crashed, the industry sort of went the route of piracy as much as possible. So the actual industry lost a lot of money, and they started having to either cut developers' salaries or fire them altogether. And the only industry that was still paying well was banking. So a lot of our good programmers left for the banking industry, and this happened a couple times, but the A team became the B team, and then the B team became the C team, and eventually it was just, whoever they had was working on it. And, to give credit where credit's due, the game has a lot of what we wanted in it. As far as our design document goes, there's a lot of it there. It just doesn't translate well in the final product because they essentially released a game that wasn't done. And that sucks because however long the actual development time was, 5 years, 4.5 years, I don't know what the exact time was. The game should have been long fucking done before 5 years. But there was such a long lull period between teams, and there was points where there was nothing happening for 6 to 8 months. The game really should have just been canceled. But, they had to rise the game from the dead because they had spent a lot of money on it and they wanted to finish it, and then they ended up putting out a game that was not finished. So it's not unplayable, it's essentially unplayable. And if you actually play through the game and you watch the cinematics, which are very well done, and you follow the story, that's what we had written. That's what we had done. The gameplay is just really, really piss poor. There are game-breaking bugs. And if you really want to look at the project from the top down, the source engine ended up being the incorrect engine for the game anyway. It's a big open world, and it really needed a big open world engine. It needed Unreal. We didn't use it. Source was not it. And so the game suffers from, loading zones, lack of life in the levels. There's a lot of things wrong with it, and there's a lot bigger issues at play as to why that'll never be fixed. But it's not legally our responsibility, and we can't actually even do it. So we moved past it, and we decided that since Postal 2 was doing so well on Steam, that we might as well give all these brand new people something more to play. We've had people that have been working on our game on the side, modding for us and doing whatever for a long time. So as far as we're concerned, this Unreal 1.7 or whatever we were using at the time when Postal 2 came out, we could build something pretty good and pretty cheaply and pretty quickly that would be fun. And what ended up being a 6-hour flight across the states of me writing down my ideas for an add-on to Postal 2 been good. I don't know if you guys know yet, but it's in my opinion the best thing we've ever put out. I mean, it's the most complete thing we've ever put out. It really plays well. It's got a couple of big bugs, but we had a very small team, and we're getting those fixed. We put in boss battles, which are a little buggy, but that's getting fixed too. But overall, the game really does a good job of masking the fact that it's nothing more than, for the most part, Postal 2 levels looked at in a different angle with a new coat of paint slapped over it. And I don't know. I think it holds up today. The graphics aren't very good, but they weren't very good in 03. They're good enough. They play. The gameplay is
absolutely
enough. The interactivity is good enough. The humor is clearly still there. I laugh at my own product, which is weird because I don't even laugh at my own jokes after I say them out loud. So, I mean, I'm not saying everybody's got to love it, but the fan reactions have been really good, really positive. And that's one thing we've actually relished a lot with Steam is that, fuck the gaming press and their reviews. If you look at our Metascore, it's garbage. If you look at our, all of our reviews in magazines, we get shit on. But if you look at our Steam user scores, we have a fucking 95+% positive rating. I mean, that's like unheard ofly ridiculous. So we'll take that for what it's worth. And what it's worth is people that buy our game give it a thumbs up. They don't have to score it. They don't have to give it a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. They just say, that was fun. I got to piss on somebody. Whatever it is that made them laugh, whatever it is that made them have a good time, we gave them that, and they took the time to go into Steam and write a review and give us a thumbs up. And we have over 10,000 reviews on Steam, and we still hold over a 95% positive rating, which is considered by Steam to be overwhelmingly positive. And the amount of games on Steam that actually have an overwhelmingly positive score are less than 200, and there's something like 10,000 games on Steam. So That's the most important thing going forward. And right now, I think Paradise Lost has just under 500 reviews, and it's well over 95% positive. So that's really all we need to hear. You know, it would be nice if GameSpot would come out of the woodwork and shit on our game publicly, so at least some people would read the name on the website. But, you know, if they're not going to, that's okay too, you know.
I think, without going too deep into the whole reviewing game process, I think a lot of the time reviewers miss, to coin a phrase, they miss the forest for the trees, in the sense that
yes,
there's that about 10 years ago, when gaming magazines were reviewing games, they were taking each part of a game and going, right, how good's the sound? Right, how good's the graphics? How good does it play? It kind of misses the point of a video game in a way,
right,
where it's a complete package. So if a game is lacking in one point, it can still be incredibly amazing in another point, and it can be a 10 out of 10 if it.
Well, and that's it. You know, if you really go back, and I remember two that nauseated me because, look, I've said it time and time again. We don't make a 10. We don't make really a 7 even. We make an okay 7, okay? But the problem I've had when I would read reviews is they would say things like, oh, I had so much fun doing this. This made me laugh. This was great. 5. What? Fucking 50%. And it's like, oh, well, the graphics were shit. It was laggy. There was load zones. It's like, okay, well, those are annoyances. But
absolutely, yeah.
What about the actual game? I mean, we had a review written for GameSpot. Our first review for GameSpot, Postal 2, was written by a guy that we actually were supposed to be hiring, and we never ended up hiring. So, utter conflict of interest, number one. Then he shit on us on their website, which, you know, it is what it is. It happened, and we appealed to them about it, and they go, oh, we didn't know. We'll give it to somebody else, who wrote a much more fair review, but he still only gave us a 6. Cool, no big deal. But it's like things like that constantly were happening. We even were notified once by someone who said, look, guys, I love you. You're friends of mine. I wanted to give it this, but my editor wouldn't let me. Okay.
I mean, I've actually know some of the editors for other sites, and what game was it? I can't remember the game. It was some really bad game about 2 years ago. Well, it wasn't bad, it was average.
Yeah.
And the reviewer that I know I'm friends with, he wrote the review and said, I want to give it 6 out of 10. And then the editor said, no, we have to give it an 8.
Yeah.
And
it's more common than people want to believe, and it's unfortunate because, I mean, it's not as bad anymore. With the power of the internet, with the power of people's voice, there's a lot more ways to get opinions without having to deal with that. But they only find out about games or movies or TV shows a certain way. And if those people haven't changed the way they review shit, then that percentage of people is still never going to see 50% of things that they'll never hear about because all they saw was, that was crap, I'm not going to watch it. You know, I love Rotten Tomatoes. I go to Rotten Tomatoes for all my movie reviews. Yes, when I see that a movie I really wanted to see has a 20% on the tomato meter, that is nauseating, and it makes me not want to go see it. But if it has a 70% on the user scores, I will go see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But a gaming magazine doesn't give that. You know, you open your magazine and you go, oh, that game got a 4, throw it away. You know what I mean? Like, okay, well, we're done. What am I supposed to do with that, you know? It's tough, and it's a hard spot to be put in because, you know, if a gaming site has, you know, their PC division, then they've got to have like 10 different divisions within the division because you can't give the RPG guy a first-person shooter to review. He's going to not like it. It's just fact. And, you know, historically, our most loved review was our 0 in computer gaming world that we got, where he basically said that we were the worst product ever foisted upon consumers until they packaged syphilis. Now, that's fine. We love this quote. We've used it. We've held it as a badge of honor. Our new shirts on the back actually say, worst game ever. So, we love it. But, if you read the guy's review, he may have booted up the game. Maybe not even, okay? He clearly was not a first-person shooter type of gamer. He was a family man who didn't want his kids to be playing violent video games. Why on God's green earth would you give him Postal 2 to review? I don't know. Makes no sense to me. But, in hindsight, that's fine. He gave us the funniest score ever. We ended up winning a Guinness record because of it, and we'll take it to the bank. That's fine. But, if you want to talk about honest journalism, I shouldn't be reviewing RTS games. I shouldn't be reviewing RPG games. I shouldn't be reviewing anything but first-person shooter and sports games. That's it. And I would admit that. If somebody tried to hand me one of those, I'd be like, I don't even know what to do with this, and I don't want
to. Yeah.
So it's a tough. I realize this is a tough job, and I'm trivializing the job because it's not as simple as I'm making it out to be. But there should be a protocol for who does what, and I'm sure there is. It's just clearly not followed all the time. You have to work with what you got, but games are art. The worst game on earth, which I'm not going to say we just use that quote, still took thousands and thousands of man-hours to make and release. And it may be terrible, but it still deserves a fair shot as far as a review goes.
Absolutely, yeah. A lot of people go into a game either wanting or expecting to hate it. So they'll find...
what's funny about that? And this is something I've said time and time again, and I don't even know how it's possible. I keep going back to this 95% overwhelmingly positive score on Steam, and I think to myself, who is it that writes reviews online? And I use Yelp, and I use other things, Amazon reviews to look at things. And for the most part, and historically, nobody ever talks about anything unless it's shit. That's just human nature, is that most people don't tell you when something's good unless it's their job. So if you're going to go on Yelp, you're mostly looking for people's complaints. Because if you want to eat somewhere, odds are someone's not going to tell you, oh my God, this is the best storm I've ever had. They're going to say, there was bugs in my food. The server smelled. You think people are mostly going to complain. So it's very weird to me to see that, there's 10,000 people that went out of their way to review our game, and 9,500 of them had something nice to say. It's just where's the 10,000 people that hated us? Because I know they're there. I don't know if there's a mental time change here going on where haters just don't want to hate. I don't know. It's cool to me too because it's that's nice that positivity is coming out of the woodwork when it comes to user reviews for things. I guess I just wasn't familiar. I don't know. I guess I just don't look at Steam user reviews that often, and I guess I don't game as much as I used to. But clearly, they've come out of their way to say good things about us. And then you look at some other games, and when I first saw that, and I started thinking oh, well, all these other games must have 95% then, right? And I'm looking at all these major titles, and it's not even close. If you look at Assassin's Creed games, they're in the 70% range.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, but the problem with Assassin's Creed is,
if I'm gonna jog my memory and go, I played Assassin's Creed, it's a good game. But 70% of people think so, and 30% of people want to say that it's crap. Well, I don't know. Why is my piece of shit that I released got a 95%? I don't know. Goodwill. They know that we treat the fans right. I don't know. We still work on a game 12 years later. I don't know. I can't actually quantify the reason why our game has attracted the attention it has lately, and it still hasn't attracted the mainstream attention, which is fine. Like I said, we don't need to be on the cover of the Wall Street Journal. We don't need to be on the front page of IGN. That's not what we need for affirmation that what we're doing is good. What I need is people on Steam to tell me it is, and they are. So that's
exactly, yeah. In terms of the game, I remember I bought it while I was in university, my first year in university, and I bought it on the Steam sale for £3, I think. Posted to £3. And I booted it up. It was genuinely incredible fun. I really enjoyed it.
Good.
And I thought, when I first played the game, I played it through, and I thought it was a really good social experiment, to be quite arty-farty about it.
Yes.
And so I decided to sit down with a bunch of my mates and see how they would play it. And every single person first level, picked up a shovel, smashed someone across the face. Best game ever.
Right. Well, exactly.
It's just bizarre how, again, like I think isn't the first objective in the game get milk?
Yeah.
Get milk. Yeah. It seems bizarre.
Mind-numbing, boring, stupid activity.
Exactly. It seems bizarre how a game would, again, to push the idea that it never tells you to kill anyone, really.
No, we just push you mentally to the limits of how will you deal with this situation.
Exactly. Yeah.
And yes, shooting up the room or sticking up the bank or whatever is always the quick, easy way out of anything, and that doesn't mean it's easy. It just means it's a hell of a lot easier than doing it passively, and that doesn't mean it's not possible, and the game gives you all the options in the world, so...
Exactly.
Yeah, and if you want to just pee on people, which clearly everybody does, as I have found out from watching countless YouTubers, all they want to do is piss.
Yeah.
I don't even know. When I watch these YouTubes, I go, wow, we made a pissing simulator.
Yeah.
It is quite funny, though, when they start throwing up.
Yeah. Throwing up and then chopping off their head and having them puke out of their neck hole.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah, that was a popular
Absolutely
one.
Brilliant.
So I just want to quickly ask.
Yeah.
The first Postal, I've not played that at all, and I downloaded it again. It must have been £2-3 about 2-3 months ago now, I think. And I was playing that. I found it really hard to control.
Yes. We have fixed that. It is not released for the computer yet, but we fixed the controls for the Android build of the game. And there is dual stick controller support. I have an NVIDIA Shield. Postal becomes a completely different game when you have dual stick controls of it. Once you have the two sticks, it's actually the Robotron or Smash TV simulator that it was basically supposed to be originally. The PC controls are horrid. I will not even pretend to defend them. But we are working on that, and there should be Xbox controller support within the next month on the PC, Mac, and Linux builds for the computer. And once those are there, the game becomes a lot more fun. The left stick moves, the right stick shoots. The game becomes playable. I'm telling you, I knew you were going to say that. Because I know exactly where you're coming from. Try to replay the game when that's there, and it'll be...
The one thing I will say which shocked me, even though they're tiny little sprites of characters, when I was shooting away at people and then they started crawling with blood pouring out of their stomach saying, please kill me, or... that...
Well, that's why you have to go up and execute them.
I don't know if it was just me, but that just made me chuckle.
I'm not sure that's the appropriate response, but it's definitely not the wrong response. No. It does that in that. It does that in Postal 2, and, we have executions in there for a reason. You're supposed to, mercy kill, I suppose.
Are there any plans for a sequel?
We are currently working
the journalism.
We are currently working on Postal Redux, which is a complete remake of Postal 1, but on Unreal Engine 4. And it's going to look very similar. It's going to have the exact same 2D hand-drawn backgrounds, and we're going to have much nicer looking little models and animations, and the gameplay will probably be significantly upgraded. There'll be co-op, probably, multiplayer, other things that will just make it a much more modern game. That's the current plan right now. Ideally, we would love to bring Postal 2 to a modern engine and then fix it from there and make a new game from there, but that's a very large undertaking for a very small developer, and we do not have that kind of money laying around. So, believe me, we have looked into porting Postal 2. It requires a rebuild. There's no port of Unreal 1 point whatever.
So, I mean, when you talk about the Redux, so I guess in simple terms, it's basically what Capcom did with the Resident Evil remake, or whatever it was called. that was released a couple of months ago, where they redid the entire backgrounds in HD, and the characters, they buffed them up a bit for the Xbox One and PS4.
Well, I don't play a lot of video games, so maybe I should do a little research before I come on a video game show. But yeah, that sounds about right to me. Yeah, we're redrawing all the levels. I mean, we're not using any existing assets. It's going to be completely remade, but it is going to have the exact same look to it. It's not going to be Hatred style. It's not going to be 3D worlds. It's going to be a top-down, isometric, 2D map with tiny 3D models and, like I said, completely redone gameplay. So it will actually be, forgetting good controls, the actual gameplay will be, significantly more modern, and there will actually be, strategic elements to the game, people hiding behind buildings. Like I said, the old game, it's an old game. There's no two ways about it. It's just a mindless shooter. People run around mindlessly. Like I said, it's a Smash TV or Robotron kind of homage, where everything's just kind of moving around you and you shoot whatever's around you, and the goal is to kill all the hostiles. It will be similar, but it'll be a lot more modern.
So I mean, I just want to ask you quickly, back in my childhood, we had the Amiga computer. I don't know, in America, I don't know if it actually came out over there or not. But
probably, I've heard of it.
On the Amiga, there was a game called Cannon Fodder.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of that game?
No.
Alright. Well, it came out for Genesis and I believe the SNES as well. And I would recommend, even if you have to get it like an emulator, I would recommend getting that game just to try what some developers in the early 90s were doing. It's basically a top-down with tiny little sprites of characters that are set in the army, and one mouse button, sort of like you click where you want them to move to, and the other mouse button shoots where the cursor is. And it's like a puzzle game where you actually try and kill all the enemies. But it's done with humour. Like, on the where you go back to the title screen, it says, like, home and away, as in, like, how many people have killed. So it's like, if you lose 2 men in the field, the enemy get 2, and then if you kill 4, so it's like 4-2.
I have made a note. I will look into this.
It is an amazing... Don't look at Cannon Fodder 3. Again, Codemasters...
At a Postal 3 type of game, piece of shit.
Yeah, Codemasters bought the license and they farmed it out to Russia.
Oh, well. So you're saying there's a
trend here. Yeah.
No,
I would recommend that game. It was one of my favourites as when I was like 12, 13. It was an amazing game. I mean...
Well, let me personally say I need to fix Postal 1's controls for you so you can play, because that was your favorite game, and I'm sure we can entertain you with playable Postal 1 controls.
Oh, God.
Playable Postal 1.
That is the cover for Cannon Fodder. I don't know if you can see it.
I do. I can see it.
That is very nice.
And I don't know if you can actually see the actual really diddy sprite background.
Well, they look even worse on this Google Hangout, but...
Yeah. I mean, the characters were only about 6 sprites high.
Yeah.
So they're really
I found a bunch of YouTube stuff. I'll check it out.
Yeah, honestly, it is an amazing game. I would easily recommend that. Maybe you should contact John Hare and see what, collaborate.
Will do. Alright, guys, I gotta take off.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you, guys. It was great to be here. Give away those keys. Maybe some people can check out our new game. So.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say before you go, I got into the Lost Paradise sort of game.
Yeah.
And I got sort of like locked in a room where there was a Postal 3 guy hanging from the ceiling. How did you get out of that room?
Well, I've personally never even found that room. That's one of those developer Easter eggs that I only saw on a YouTube video the other day for the first time. So I'm the wrong person to ask. But if you post a question on Twitter, I'm sure our developers will answer that question for you.
Awesome.
But I thought it was an amazing. I tried to kick the door through, but the door was locked.
Well, maybe you got to go in there.
I tried to jump over the fence, then I somehow got sucked through the wall into the house.
Nah, your punishment is play Postal.
So, yeah, it was just funny seeing someone, and especially when the day before you or one of your team sort of members emailed me saying, yeah, we don't talk about Postal 3. And then I found some guy hanging with the Postal 3, and with on the PC where it actually says like the Postal 3 sort of like EXE or whatever. It just made me laugh. I thought that was brilliant.
Well, you got to be able to make fun of yourself, and I think I've done plenty of that today. But sometimes you really fuck up bad, and that was a bad fuck up. So we know
it's the curse of the third game. I swear.
That may be true.
It's the curse of the third game.
GTA 3 was pretty good, so
that's true. But I'd say I'm going to bring it up. I've said this on the podcast many times. Assassin's Creed 3 is one of the worst games ever made. I hate that game so much.
I just played the first one. Alright, guys, I gotta go.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Have a good afternoon. Well, evening. Have a good evening.
See ya, bye.
See ya, bye.
Hey, my name is Austin Seiko. I'm an independent game developer over here in the U.S. Just wanted to say congratulations, One Up Gaming, on 100 podcasts.
Hey, guys. This is Brian from Image Inform in Sweden. Congratulations on reaching 100 podcasts. That's pretty impressive.
Right, Eddie, what are you doing?
Man, I'm late. Don't expect me to be on time, people. Don't expect me to be on time.
It's the 100th podcast.
Yeah, Wi-Fi has
been
down. My Wi-Fi has been down.
We had a really good conversation about killing random people for no reason. You'd have loved it.
I hope so. You're to one of the developers of like Postal 2.
Exactly.
If you weren't talking about killing random people, I would be very disturbed.
I'm tempted to write an article about why I love Postal 2 now.
I was going to do that anyway. I played Lost Paradise on Steam. I think yesterday. It was great. It was great.
Great.
I love it. I love it. I didn't think you could add to the game.
It's just a fun game to play.
Yeah. It's like Hotline Miami, but with like no objection. Just you can do whatever the hell you want.
Like Hotline Miami has objection.
Yeah, but Hotline Miami has an objective. Like you need to do something.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah.
You have an objection. Like you have something you have to do. You don't have to do it. Which is great.
Right, David, what do we do now? What's the plan?
Right, what we do now is you just have a look to see if anyone's watching us or not.
According to Twitch, 2 people are.
If anyone on Twitch would like a free
I'm not
code,
sure if one of them is me.
Alright. But if anyone would like a free code, just sort of talk to us on Twitch, and then we'll send you a free code. So we'll wait a couple of minutes for that to do that. And so yeah, so I've got to say there's some people who you chat to and they just seem complete dicks, but he seemed really nice.
Yeah, he's awesome. I like him.
Better than Lucy James.
Well, no, that's just because he was perving on
her. We don't talk about Lucy James.
They don't talk about Postal 3. We don't talk about Lucy James.
That never happened.
I was wondering whether we should bring up Postal 3 or not. I was thinking about it, and then he brought it up, and I was like, yeah, cool.
We don't talk about Postal 3.
Well, yeah, but I'll be honest. I love Postal. I love Postal 2. When I was watching, as I say, I was looking at all the magazines and the videos of Postal 3, and it looked fun. It might not have been brilliant, but it did look fun.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted it for the 360 so much. And I was talking to him the last couple of days. They sent us over the keys and stuff. And I was playing the game, and I sort of like looked on Steam just to see what else they'd done, and it actually said Postal 3. So I was like, oh, I might actually buy that. And I emailed them saying, you know, I was really looking forward to this for 360. I didn't even know it came out on the PC. And they just said, yeah, we don't talk about it.
We don't talk about Postal 3.
Yeah. And then, like I say, when I was like playing the game yesterday, and I got sucked into the room where there was a developer that had hung himself with the Postal 3 t-shirt on.
No, that's ridiculous.
Which was just brilliant.
It'll be interesting to see if Hatred gets the same sort of...
I think the problem with Hatred is it's had the same sort of like backlash before the game came out, but we live in a time now where I think once the game's out, people will just want to play it.
Yeah.
You know, whereas back in the late 90s, it was like, if a game was like previewed and they said, no, it's horrible, it's sick, deprived or whatever, depraved, then back in those times it didn't have the internet and everything, so they just read the magazine, and if they said it was shit, like 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10, then you'd like, I'm not going to pay 50 quid for that game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas now, people just, it's like Mortal Kombat. The game technically might not be brilliant, but everyone knows people watch you play it when you're streaming it. So everyone's buying it just to do all the sick death moves and stream it. So I think Hatred will live up to that hype, and it will sell massively. Just because...
How much is Hatred going to be?
I think it's going to be about 35 quid.
I thought it was going to be about 15.
Yeah, no.
I don't think it'll be 35.
No way.
I think if you go on their official website, I think it is.
No way it's going to be like over 20, because it's basically a tiny game. It's a miniature game.
Right, I'll go to Hatred on Steam. Oh, please enter a valid date. Oh, but I was born the 1st of January.
It doesn't really say.
Yeah, this is riveting stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. So are you on the Steam page?
Yeah, there's not a price there.
Right, pre-order it at hatred.com. Right, let's go to hatred.com.
Hatred.com.
God, I'm sorry if this is interfering with everyone's like streaming sort of thing, because my PC, well, it's not the PC, it's the actual internet I get, which is not very good. Right, so verify. Oh yeah, you're right. Just the Hatred game itself is €16.66, but there's a limited edition. It's the game plus a T-shirt for €36. So that's where I saw that.
Can you imagine walking around with a Hatred T-shirt on? Oh my god.
To be honest, the T-shirt looks pretty rubbish.
It's literally just like a black shirt with words on it. It's nothing really special.
The text, the logo text. It should have had like a cool picture of something on.
Well, like you murdering someone.
Yeah.
Oh, but if you pre-order, you get like you get the game soundtrack for free. So I don't know. But if it's like €16, so it's like £15, £14.
Yeah.
Oh, if it's €16, it'll only be about 11 quid.
Seriously?
Yeah, euros are like dollars now.
Cool, man.
Really bad.
That's the perfect price,
Euro crashed a few months ago, didn't it?
I'm gonna buy that then. That's on my list of games to buy. Most definitely.
So I would just like to say thank you to Michael for coming on. It was great of him to give up his time for us. And yeah, on his email it's like VP of Business Development. That's what his title is.
Nice. Quite excited to play Postal 1. Not played Postal 1. Only 2. And that was because I came across it by just like complete.
So there was one question which I never asked him.
Go on.
Because we talked about the early years and the controversy and how do they feel about the Hatred game.
Yep.
We talked about the DLC for the game that's 12 years old.
Yep.
But What? Oh God, I've turned something on my watch. Sorry. Right. But I was going to ask him, what was it like working with Gary Coleman?
Oh yeah. Damn it. Email him. What was it like working with Gary Coleman? Hello.
So.
Wasn't he in the game?
Yeah, it was. You had to deliver something to him in the second one.
Yeah.
Can't remember what it was though. It's that long ago since I played it.
It was, yeah.
You have to get his autograph.
Oh, autograph.
Yeah. And then when you get his autograph, like a bunch of people come and try and kill him. So yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So much fun. So much fun.
But it's funny with as he said, the graphics and the engine they used for that game. It looked nothing like him.
Yeah, exactly.
His head was massive. Then again, I guess his head was quite big in real life, so.
I'm just reminding myself, because we were talking about Assassin's Creed 3, and I've just kind of made myself sad.
Wait, Assassin's Creed 3 is the one in the colonies, right?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus. That one, it wasn't like terrible, but it was like they could have done a lot more with it.
Just so bad.
They could have done a lot more with it, and they really didn't.
Awful. One of the worst games ever made.
Because
Zach's seal of approval there.
They were on a roll. They were on a roll from number 2.
They were on a roll. Assassin's Creed 2 was so good.
And then like they were like going to change it. We're going to go to like the colonies to America, post-American history, which isn't a problem, but they like kind of bottleneck themselves, where they're like, you're a Native American, and these are the things you can do. They could have made like a huge open world or something like that. No, screw that. Go down this linear path, down this really, really boring story.
Oh, it's so boring.
It was just really, really bad. Oh, it's a game that like.
Should we just do a podcast where we just rant about the game, and the first one should be Assassin's Creed 3.
It's like, how could the story of a game be that bad?
It was so poorly paced as well. My God. Oh, it was so slow.
It was like, oh, we're gonna kill off Desmond, and that's it. We're just gonna kill off Desmond, and the reason they give for killing him off is so stupid.
I've forgotten about the ending as well. You just reminded me of the ending. It keeps getting worse.
It's just like, oh, he's gonna put his hand on the thing, save the world, and he's gonna die, and then we know nothing of what happens after that. Everything that happens after that, we have no idea. There's just like a demigod in the world doing whatever the bloody hell she wants.
It was a choice at the end, wasn't it? It was a choice.
No, you didn't choose. You just did it.
Did it for you?
You had no choice whatsoever.
Absolutely.
It's just so stupid. It's basically like you changed the timeline or some shit, and now the world's different. And I'm like, okay, the world's changed. That's about it. There's not anything amazing about that. You changed very little. And then like they try and carry on the story in the 4th game, and they just can't. The story's just a crock of shit.
Dead. Absolutely dead.
It's not even dead. It's everywhere. It's just everywhere.
It's depressing that the original creator of Assassin's Creed now doesn't even work for Ubisoft. He's just sold it. He's just like, I can't do this anymore. You've ran it into the ground.
I can't blame him because they've made.
I think we lost him.
I don't know. He's just frozen. He's frozen that way.
He's gone so mad that he's frozen in time.
It's just like.
He's encased himself in hatred.
Yeah, so while we're talking about the podcast being the 100th podcast, so Zach, what do you think has been the best moment of you being on the podcast, or what do you think has been the best thing you've done since you've been on the podcast, that kind of thing?
I think
the tour of your house. No.
The tour of my house. We've done several tours of my house. They're all quite nice. Genuinely, I actually think that interview with Michael was actually probably one of the best things. It was really good to talk about that, especially about a game that has been quite influential in not even just in the world of gaming, in world politics. It's been quite huge. and for him to just kind of sit down with us and just talk about that was really cool. Really enjoyed that.
He did look pumped though.
he's I wouldn't want to, if I hated the game, I wouldn't want to go up to him and tell him I hate the game and I'm going to tell you that I hate the game, because he'd probably like pick me up in his hands and just like crush me and then just flick me away, and I'll be like, oh. So,
what?
We was talking about, quick catch up, Eddie. David asked me what my favourite part of the podcast we've done since I've joined. I said our interview with Michael we just had, and then we were saying that he's quite huge, and then I said that if I hated the game, I wouldn't want to go up to him and tell him that I hated the game, because he'd probably pick me up in his hands, crush me, and then just flick me off, like, because he was dench.
Yeah.
And that's where you joined in.
Oh.
So.
Yeah. I just appear now. He just appears.
I appear. Eddie comes and goes.
So, I guess I'll ask you then, Eddie, what do you think's been the best part of the podcast since you've been on it?
When we came up with the nickname for Nathan, Kim Jong-un. That was the best part, because it was just a running joke for, I think, 10 or 12 podcasts, and just kept going. Even when he wasn't even on the podcast, it just kept going and going. I think that's the best bit. I think that was the best one.
I remember, which I thought was quite funny, was when he went on holiday to America, and I played that song from, what was it, no. What was that song, the movie with the puppets, by Trey and Matt Stone? Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Team America.
Yes,
Yeah.
Team America. Where it's got, I'm so lonely, so lonely. I played that song in honour of Nathan not being on the show.
Oh,
That's awful. That is awful. Where's your daily dose of racism?
Oh, that was like every podcast. It was worse. What was it?
We should get a jingle for this.
For Ryan,
gaming
America. For Ryan, it was America. And then for Nathan, we just kept calling him Kim Jong-un, which was fun. We always had like a little daily dose of your racism.
The one-up racist.
A daily dose of racism. Coming from One Up Gaming, yeah. Just if you need it.
If you need it. Perhaps we can just do the 10 minutes of racism. Rapid fire racism.
Oh god, I can't even think.
Yeah, I don't think we'll do that.
What? So it's like,
I think that's
welcome
fine.
to the One Up Game podcast. This will be our last show. Fuck the blacks.
Whoa.
The calmness of it. He just said it so calmly. He just said it so calmly.
Oh no.
So calmly.
If you just
with all the confidence.
No, I would just like to say that was a part of a running joke for the last 10 minutes, and I do not.
Oh, this is hilarious.
I do not believe that in one way, but.
Right, we need to segue into something else. How do we do this?
The confidence was amazing.
What's up, everybody, at the One Up Gaming Podcast? It's Chris from Bunhouse Jingles. Just wanted to congratulate you on your 100th episode and thank you for everything. Here's to another 100. Now back to my daiquiri.
Coming soon to an iOS device near you, announcing Fat Cat Fly from the developer of Purr Rocket. Control Mr. Popcorn, a high-flying kitty who has only one interest, eating burgers. Visit facebook.com/fatcatfly. Coming soon in May 2015.
We got a PS4 code to give away.
For what?
We found a review code for a Mega Quintet from Idea Factory, international exclusive for PS4. They've
Nice.
sent over a copy for review, and we can give a copy out as a prize.
Nice.
So, a Mega Quintet. So, I guess I will... Right, what should we do to give this away on Twitter?
I have an idea. Make them answer a riddle. Make them answer a riddle. Because
What,
why
like?
not? Think
What,
of a
like?
riddle.
So, I've wrote, to win a PS4 copy of a Mega Quintet, please. No, I need you to finish that. Oh.
Is it working? Is it working?
Yes.
Can you hear?
Yes. Could
Oh
you
my
hear-
god! The
could you
internet's
hear
working!
us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Whoa, it's worked! Yeah!
So, could you hear us when we were screaming?
No, that's why I was kind of like going, I don't want to like look like I'm swearing indiscriminately, because that would look really, really, like, I'm just going, for fuck's sake! And then you're all like, oh, what the hell? 2 seconds, I'm just making sure. Oh, now it's like working really well. Now it's just rubbing it in, having me take 20 minutes to get this to work. Bastards.
Actually,
Anyway, how are you guys doing?
I think it's taken half an hour.
Yeah, oh, more than that. I mean, I think you sent me it at like 25 past 10 or something ridiculous. So. I
That's good
apologise.
It's fine. So, Hesse, while you're here,
Yes.
we have a PS4 copy of a Mega Quintet to give away.
Sweet.
So far on my Twitter, I've put to win a PS4 copy of a Mega Quintet, please. What should they do?
I'm really like so tempted to like kind of abuse what you just said there in a funny context, like give us money. no. But I don't know, like what follow yous probably. I don't know what I would say in that.
We've already done that one.
Wait, I have a riddle.
We've already done that. And we've given away about 15 prizes so far.
That's really cool. That's
No,
better.
no.
I think
They
we've
answer a
got
They
1,
answer a
2,
riddle.
3, 4,
That's how you get this.
5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We've still got 13 games to give away. Well, 14 with this one that I've just remembered about.
Sweet. So you want them to do something in exchange for the prizes?
Yeah.
Answer a riddle.
Yeah, but I asked you what riddle and you sort of
I
just...
have one.
You just keep saying riddle.
I have one. And this one is very simple. It's very simple. What goes down but never goes up?
I think I've heard that. Wasn't that in a film or something?
Go on. This one's easy. It's very easy. Don't look it up, Zach. Don't look it up. You're on your phone. I can see.
Yeah.
No.
What goes down
No.
but
But never goes up.
You guys are just so terrible. Why would you look it up?
I'm not looking it up.
I'm not looking up. I don't give a shit. I don't want the game.
I'm just tweeting that I'm on the Hangout. I was just about to tweet I was on the Hangout, that was all. I generally am not looking it up.
I can't even say. Do you know what? I'm going to put it in the group chat so no one else can see.
Right,
Here's the
so-
answer. It's in the group chat of the Hangout.
Yeah, but can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
That's now gone out live on our Twitch.
Yeah.
God damn it! You should have told me beforehand, you bastards.
Yeah. So everyone, if they could just repeat the answer.
Oh, screw it.
To be fair, this is just going over Twitter.
Whoever says it first. Whoever says the answer first.
So what am I? So when I'm tweeting
Shut
where we
up,
are,
Zach.
do I need to say that it's on Twitch or on Hangout?
Twitch would be easier.
Twitch is easier because then Zach can talk to people.
Or is your Twitch? Is it the AUG official?
It's just OUG official. So if anyone wants to use a Mega Quintet code for the PS4, please answer that riddle that was just said by Eddie and email us at ougofficial@live.co.uk, and the first person to email us will win that PS4 code. Thank you. On with the show. Right, so Geeky Cat favorited a tweet. What the hell? Oh, no, it's not. My eyesight's gone. It's Geeky Cat. But it was cat, so what the hell? It's been a long night. We had a great chat, though, with Mike from Running with Scissors.
Okay.
So, do you know the Postal series games? It's like one of the developers from the team. And he seemed really cool.
Sweet.
A bit too
Alright,
muffled for my liking.
I will pay attention once I just sent this out. I found your thing. Awesome.
What thing?
Your Twitch.
Alright.
Hang out with her on the Twitch, come hang out. Awesome.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it properly, so all I do is shrink down my Google Hangouts picture, and I put the Open Broadcast software over the page and just crop out the middle bit of it, and then I stream that from it. So it's a bit...
I'll have a look in a sec. I'm just finishing the tweet. There you go, I've done it. So
It technically works, but... Oh, it might be you that's...
Okay, I see. I can see it. I can see how you've done it. That makes sense. Yeah, busy.
No. 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 Who gave you that? Who gave you that answer?
That's just funny for, like... Who is that gone?
He always goes.
He pops on a...
He might be moving his things downstairs.
Okay, fair enough.
He might be making too much noise at this time of night.
So what have you? What's happened so far in this show so far?
We started late.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
We chatted for about 10 minutes, just me and Zach, because Eddie was too busy for us.
Okay.
And then we got Michael on, and we chatted with him for about half an hour or so, and then Eddie decided to join us, and as soon as he saw a black guy, he said he had to go.
Really?
No, I'm joking.
Because I don't mean to. How funny would that be? Is like, how funny would that be if I just left as well for that very reason? I just went, what is black? Oh, sorry guys, I gotta go.
Oh god.
That was well said. You said that with enough severity that I actually thought you meant it. Like,
no, I can say a lot of stuff that people take the wrong way.
it's because you have that nice accent that your intonation doesn't go that far up or down, so you can just say stuff with a like nice deadpan thing. And it's just like it's just he's talking normally. That must be what it is. Yeah, I can say that sometimes. Like I have the whole. Do you know that joke where you like laugh a lot and then you do serious face straight after? I'm really good at that. Like, you know, so you just kind of do the whole like, like the whole really serious straight after. It really works. Just do it like in parties with people and stuff. And you just like, I do it with my friends all the time and just find it really funny that I just like, cause every time I laugh, I have one of them sort of like the face features when I laugh is that like my mouth. Like, I smile and all of my face moves. Like, have you ever met someone that laughs and just kind of like go, that's hilarious? That's it. No expression on their face whatsoever. It's like, yeah, it's really funny.
Oh, yeah, I was right. I was right.
I had to move.
Move house? Move house or?
Move country, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, immigration. The immigration finally caught up with them, guys.
Got bored.
I've got to say though,
what's the problem with having
do not
room in the house?
Do not buy Coca-Cola Life.
Why?
It's awful. I told you.
It's got no real taste to it, and then about 10 minutes later, you get this really bad aftertaste. Like, what the hell is that shite? It's absolutely mean.
It's like fine, and then 10 minutes after you've drunk it, it comes back at you like an assassin.
Oh, it's more aggressive than a curry. It's actually making me twitch.
Sweet.
Yeah, right.
Again. No, we've changed
Do I win? Do I get the code? Is that how it works?
No, you don't get the code, damn it.
If you want to review it, you can have a code.
I'll review it.
Yeah, I'll send you the code then.
What is it?
It's called. Whether I've lost
Something
my emails now.
Quintet.
Is this a Steam key for? Is this like a Steam key for a game or something?
No, this is a PS4 key for a game.
Okay. Do you know what the game is?
Yeah, Omega Quintet.
Mega Quintet. Okay.
I think it's made by the Omega Force team.
All right.
But I'd have a guess. It might be
Zach?
something like.
Zach, you're gonna answer for me because
There we go,
you
I'll just-
cheated. I want you to answer this, okay?
Yeah.
If you answer this, then you can get the code. Then you get the code.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a one-story house, in a one-story pink house, there was a pink person, a pink cat, a pink fish, a pink computer, a pink chair, a pink table, a pink telephone, a pink shower. Everything was pink. What color were the stairs?
Bobby. That really just sounds like Bobby's house.
It's a one-story house. There aren't any stairs.
Damn it, man!
Yeah,
I hate you
I
so
was
much.
procrastinating. Even I spotted that.
Yeah, shut up.
I've got a sort of riddle.
Okay.
It's something I've seen on a podcast, but you might have seen it. But I always like the one because I was such an idiot for not noticing what the answer was. Very similar to that one, is that you are there's two identical twins guarding two doors. One door's to heaven and one door's to hell. One of the you don't know which of the doors is which, or which twin is the evil twin and which twin is the good twin. So you only can ask them one question, and the only information that you know is that one of them will always lie and one of them will always tell you the truth. How do you know which door to go with? What do you ask in order to figure out which door's heaven, which door's good and which good's bad?
I know.
Have you seen where I got that from? Do you know where I got that from?
It was on an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Was it really? That's not where I found it. So basically, one person lies, one person tells the truth. What could you tell them in order to find out which is the evil one and which is the good one?
Ask him, will you kill me?
No, because the answer to that would be no, because they're lying, and no, because the other person's telling the truth.
Kill them both. Let the court decide.
That's pretty usual. There's someone who's found a way around the riddle.
Actually, you can just ask if they're lying.
If you said ask if they're lying,
Yeah.
they would both say no. So
But one's
there you go.
lying.
Yeah, because the one that's evil would say they're not lying, but the ones that is good, they'll say they're not lying because they're not lying.
Yep, so it's still two no's.
Damn.
Two no's make it right.
It's hard, isn't it? Because you think that sounds deceptively simple, but there is a simple solution to it that you just you kind of go, oh yeah.
Okay, what is it? What is it?
No, we're going to spend the next 20 minutes you going, what is it? What is it?
What is
Do
it?
you want to know, or do we wait?
What happened? We should ask the people on Twitter.
Yeah, ask the people on Twitter.
I don't think there's enough people watching on Twitter.
So, one of our Twitter followers, they're called Pi, under the little...
Pi is in Pi the food, or Pi is in Pi the number?
Pi is in the
Oh,
Virtua Fighter character. And they say Virtua Fighter and a LOL lover. How the
LOL
hell do you LOL lover?
League of Legends.
But I'm going to send them something because they've said congrats on over 1,000 followers.
Oh yeah, I thought you were
Cheers,
going to
mate.
hit that, because you were on like 998, weren't you?
Jeez, mate. And now that we've got stuff to give away, it can only go to 2,000.
No, it won't go that high.
Surely. Omega Quintet is a video game developed by Galapagos RPG, a subsidiary of Compile Heart.
Ooh.
A Japanese role-playing game.
There you go. You got a good game to review there.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, Zach. Where's the Tower of Guns review?
Oh yeah, I haven't done that.
That game is insane.
It's so jokes. It's good fun. I Twitch streamed it a few times. It's good fun.
Yeah, I did it on one of the Indie Thursdays, and I was ill. I was sort of feeling that quite ill at the time, and it didn't help because that was the most ridiculously manic game. So it didn't really help me. I had to stop after an hour. I was going to play it for a couple of hours. I just stopped for an hour because I'm like, I can't concentrate because there's just a zillion things coming at you at once.
Flying around, yeah.
Quite good though.
There's one when David watched me. He said, I was watching you. You fought a boss that was literally just made out of barrels. It's just a big circle. It's just barrels coming in every possible direction, and it just rolls towards you.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
I have to say though, my favourite sort of indie game at the minute, which I tried to play today, but my XSplit didn't work today. But I was going to play Zombie Driver. Are you guys heard of that?
Yes, I've got it for the 360, the Ouya, the Xbox One, and the PC.
Are you a fan then?
It's an awesome game. I never even heard of it until it was on a Steam sale, and I downloaded it and then I played it.
It came out 4 years ago.
Yeah, I got told that after I played it. Yeah, It's been on. Yeah, I think since 360, like you said. I mean, it's just been reincarnated in HD on Steam and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's even on mobile.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's not the most complicated of graphics.
It must be, if it's on Ouya, it must be on Android, because that's just an Android player. So I guess while you're on, I'll ask you some questions.
Okie dokie.
What's the answer?
What's the answer to my riddle, by the way? Do you want to know that?
Yeah.
The answer to the question, the answer to the riddle is you ask them anything that you know that they're going to lie to. And
so you ask them something that you know what the answer
that you
is.
know the answer to, yeah. And then the person...
What's my favourite colour?
Yeah. The person will lie, and the person will tell the truth. They'll say your colour, the person who lies.
Right, okay.
Yeah. It's difficult. Yeah. It's difficult to get your head around, but it does work. But yeah, that's the answer anyway. But yeah, I saw that. It wasn't on Yu-Gi-Oh, by the way, just to clarify. It was on Richard's podcast.
It is on Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm certainly synoptic.
It's one of them, sort of Pandora's box, Schrodinger's cat equation. It's that kind of thing of, trying to work out what best to do. What was that? It looked like you were drinking, I
had to finish it off.
That, yeah.
It's,
In 10 minutes, he's going to say, I've got the aftertaste.
It's a good marketing thing, though. It's you have to keep drinking it. Just keep the taste from coming back up.
You say it was
anyway.
What if that's how they get you? You keep drinking it, but the only way to get rid of the aftertaste is to drink more Coke Life. So you're stuck in this never-ending loop.
Yeah, David's saying good advertising, but one of the things he forgot was that about 20 minutes ago he holded it up going, this is rubbish. I was like, I hope they're not watching.
It's disgusting, absolutely disgusting.
I know, yeah. He's like, this is shit, and he's like, this is good advertising. Can you imagine that? Just an advert on TV.
Boy,
this is the most ridiculous product we've ever done. Do not buy it under pain.
They might have us on mute, so they're just thinking we're holding up going, look at this amazing product.
I know, yeah.
Actually, when we were talking to Michael earlier, he was saying that he has T-shirts with close to 2 on the back, and then with the quotes "worst game ever" from his favourite review they ever got, which was a 0 from. It was GameSpot, I think he said. They gave him 0, worst game ever. He was like, excellent, putting that on a t-shirt. But the thing is, if you saw a game on a shelf and it had on the box art, worst game ever, would you be tempted to buy it?
Well, I was thinking, I don't know if you guys know, because I'm really into card games and board games, and I play regularly, and there's a game that was kickstarted called We Didn't Play Test This. I don't know if you guys know it, but you should pick it up for you guys to play because it's very similar to what Zach's just described. They deliberately went out of their way to make the most ridiculous game imaginable, and I've never experienced a game like it. There's some games where obviously you'll get something that'll kind of go, that's stupid, that shouldn't happen. In this game, right, you can literally sit down in this game and not even get a turn. You can get a card that just goes, you win because you're awesome. And it's like, And also, like, you can win, like, what's really funny is, like, you get a card, like, you win if you're average, and it tells you what they average to be. So if you're average height, average build, average, and it's, like, just average in everything, average age on the table, you win. And it's stuff like, play rock, paper, scissors with everyone on the table. So you play rock, paper, scissors, anyone who didn't do a rock dies instantly. It's just crazy. I mean, so as I say, it can end in 1 or 2 rounds, and it's literally a 3-minute game. It's brilliant because it's funny for the first couple of rounds, and then it gets absolutely just ridiculously stupid. And you start like resenting it. You start going, "This is the most stupidest game ever." But to end this story about this is that they then did an expansion called "We Didn't Even Play Test This Either."
Literally,
it's popular. It's popular. People buy it. I have about five or so friends that have a copy of it. And it's not expensive either.
It's not. It's here. I've got it. I'm tempted to buy it.
Yeah, exactly. Just me describing it now. It's a shame, like, whoever made it, I'm like, just send me some royalties for the advertising.
It has mini packs. Right now. It has booster packs.
yeah, that's what it is. Every time they bring out, it's like Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah.
With that, it's got them sort of cards, and you get boosters to make it more random, basically. But yeah, I just wanted to say that because you reminded me of that when you were talking. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, you got
Let's play this.
Okay, wait. Stephen.
Yeah.
I want to give you a riddle because your riddle was just like your riddle annoyed me. So I'm gonna give you one, and I want to annoy you.
Okay.
Right.
I'm shit at riddles, by the way, so I won't get it on.
I have one. What has a thumb and 4 fingers but isn't alive?
A mannequin.
No.
A thumb and 4 fingers, but isn't alive.
Yep.
Deep in thought.
I know, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
That'd be some. That's one of them annoying. The annoying things about riddles is you like wake up middle of the night screaming, going, "I've got it!" I do that with like conversations with people when I'm like doing trivia questions, and then like 10 hours later I'll be like, "That's it. So I might give you an answer in 10 hours time. Thumb and two with a thumb and 4 fingers, but isn't alive.
Statue.
No.
Painting.
No.
A portrait.
No.
A photo.
Nope.
Person in a photo.
I really don't know. I really don't know. Like, I'm not. Well,
Glove.
What is it?
Glove.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say a glove, like a rubber glove, but no.
You know what it is? You
No,
wanna
go
know?
on, tell us.
A severed hand.
A severed hand.
Oh my god.
That's ridiculous. I know that took a glove.
I think glove's a better answer.
I know, yeah.
You're beating your answer.
4 fingers, but it's not alive.
Fair enough. All these technicality riddles we're having here.
Eddie,
Haha. Yes.
you're a sick bastard.
You knew that when you hired me. Anyways,
To be fair, I haven't hired you because I've never paid you.
Yes,
that's
true.
not the point. You haven't paid any of us.
I have. I've paid one person.
Sorry, guys.
No, cheated.
Hey.
One guy.
We got some commissioned work. I emailed out who wanted to do it, and only one person replied, so they got paid for it.
Fair enough.
That's probably a good thing.
Everyone else gets the games for free, which are worth 30-40 quid, so you're getting them
Yeah,
for
I'd say
free.
that's
So.
being paid. As long as you write some words for a game, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, that always helps. I mean, yeah, we get freebies every now and again, and I've paid people in the past. It all depends whether it depends if it's something that I can't do. Basically, that's what it comes down to, or anyone else who helps out.
I tell you what, Hesse, I'll let you into a secret.
Okay.
I can hardly spell my own name.
Well, I'm heavily dyslexic, so it really doesn't help. Well, it's like the Eddie Izzard joke, heavily dyslexic. It's like, oh, because you can be light dyslexic, but I always say heavy because.
Guys, yesterday I streamed the Running with Scissors, the DLC, was it Paradise Lost or whatever it's called? Yeah, Paradise Lost. I had the name written in front of me. I had the game playing with the logo and the title screen.
and I still put I'm streaming Lost Paradise. I've wrote it the wrong way around.
Oh dear.
God.
I mean, I'd like to think I'm dyslexic, but I think I'm just really thick. Yeah.
Well, there's some people, I don't know, like, I mean, every time you ever get conversations in Twitch, I'm always struggling to figure out, like, what it is that they've said, because I'm terrible with abbreviations.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it takes me ages to figure them out. Like, we were talking about Black Ops 3 the other day, and someone put BO3 as just an abbreviated version, and I went, what's BO3? What we're talking about? Like, the thing we've been spending talking about, it's just simply an abbreviation, I just sometimes can't read them. So it's a little annoying for Twitch and various other reasons. I just can't distinguish them properly, but hey, I get around it, it's fine.
Hi, I'm Ben Halpin from Lazy Game Studio, and I'd just like to say congrats to David and the rest of the One Up Gaming crew for reaching 100 podcasts. I mean, it really is just simply amazing that people still listen to this. Nah, I'm just joking, but congrats, and hopefully there'll be many more in the future. And while I'm here, be sure to check out my game called Overdosed: A Trip to Hell. It's on Kickstarter at the moment, so if you Google Overdosed Kickstarter, it should be like the first thing that comes up. It's also on Steam Greenlight too, so give us a vote there as well. So yeah, I guess that's it from me. Bye.
Hi, this is Dean Swain from the UK's #1 retro gaming podcast show, Retro Asylum. I just wanted to say congratulations and well done to the One Up Gaming podcast show for reaching your 100th episode. Well done, guys, and here's to your next 100.
Hello, this is Stephen Gurovitz, the community manager at Geotech, and I want to congratulate One Up Gaming on reaching 100 podcasts. We've only made it up to 19, so 100 is a big number. So well done, congratulations, and keep them coming.
So anyway, we'll ask you some questions then. We'll try and keep this on topic then.
Cool.
So, thank you for coming on our 100th show.
No worries. Congratulations, guys. It's been really awesome.
Thank you.
I've worked really hard on these past 100 podcasts. Very hard on every single one. every single one.
I kind of try. I just show up and I just make the show better. So
often late as well.
Gotta love his care.
I just get here and like 20 people start just listening in. I'm just like, okay.
You just have a crowd that people just follow you wherever you go.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Just
look at
entourage.
How does he shop? That's the question.
I don't. People shop for me. People literally shop. I walk into a store, they're just like, what do you want? They even ask me what I want. They bring me a selection.
As you're getting out your wallet, you're like, don't even need to pay. I'm not gonna.
They don't
give for free.
Make you pay. They're just like you being here is payment enough. And I just take the clothes and walk out.
Which is the fact that we're in Ruckus's presence right now. That's so that we should be grateful.
Exactly. Exactly. My presence alone.
So, just a quick update. We have now run out of the Paradise Lost DLC for Postal 2. So we've run out of that. We've still got 2 Postal 2 codes. We've still got some Pixel Heroes Bite and Magic. Microsoft goodie bags, but I'm not really selling them just yet. And we've still got a couple of codes for some Master Tonic games, so Kitty Powers Matchmaker and the Charnel House trilogy, I think it is. So we've still got a couple of codes left.
Sweet.
And we've still got that PS4 game to give away. So I'm just waiting for someone to take that, because we occasionally get in a few OUG official 100 podcasts, question mark. That is great. Congrats, guys. Oh, he's getting a game. Right.
Yeah, so just for the podcast followers now, any of those games I just mentioned, if you want to email me at ougofficial@live.co.uk, say what game you want, and I will send out free codes to any people that email me until all the codes have gone. Thank you. Back with the show.
So all I wanted to basically say was you've started your Twitch streaming service since we last sort of spoke to you.
Well, I have indeed, yeah.
Which day do you think is the best day for streaming?
Ooh, good question. Well, I can give you like sort of facts because in terms of like statistics, because one of the things that I've decided to do, which is something a fellow Twitcher told me to do who was more already established, was to write down the growth of your channel. So you write down how many views you've had, how many subscribers you've had, and make a log basically. So I know, having done that every day, that the most successful day we've had in terms of views, in terms of subscriptions, is something I've just recently decided to start, which is Sundays. I originally was never gonna stream Sundays. It's a really good question actually, because I've literally just started doing this, because literally the first Sunday we did was last Sunday. We currently are on, we've done it for 4 weeks now, and we're on 88 follows, and we got 15, I think, on that Sunday, and I only did like the afternoon, and we got 15 people in following, and various, and I sold some stuff on my shop as well, and that led me to believe. The reason I did that is because I watched a Twitch channel, Geek and Sundry, who I touched on earlier, who do tabletop stuff, and they were doing like handouts and giveaways and stuff, and they had like, I mean, they're a bad example, because we're the small people on the totem pole just starting out, but and they have a huge corporation, but still
You're bigger than us.
Yeah, but well, you know what I'm saying, like as in.
They're on a completely different scale.
Yeah, they're owned by Legendary, who own Nerdist and obviously do all the Dark Knight films and are a major picture corporation. They've just been upgraded like everything. They have staff, they have people, they have a full-time schedule. You know, I say to us we have a full-time schedule, and that's like 3-4 hours a day. They are on all the time. You know, they're on 12 hours a day, because I imagine that's part of their contract, that they have to provide as much content. But the only point I'm making is I was on their channel watching the Sunday, and I just thought, yeah, Sundays, why have I not thought? Because Sundays, because one of the things that I've thought about, and I've had a noticeable difference in the amount of people who have looked at our stuff, is doing late night stuff, because you've got to think about the American audience, because the American audience is far greater on majority of stuff. You know, and I think we touched on this last time I was on your podcast, like 65% of my podcast audience is American. So, you know, I'm aware of I'm aware of, this is why when I got my shop, which is available on our Twitch channel, by the way, that with a company called Blue Cyborg, who are friends of ours, we've went to conventions with them and stuff, and we just started that. One of the things I made sure when I started the shop is that we could do US distribution, because I'm aware, you know, that, and that's something you have to be aware of when you do stuff like this, is to say, got to make sure that I have the American people who join Twitch and everything else can contribute in a way. Because if you think about it, having a shop, you know, I'm giving them a shirt or something, or a mug, which is something I have with me while I stream. You know, they're getting something, not just, you know, saying to them, like, because the problem with donations, if you think about it, is if you give like £4 a month donation to someone, the trouble is convincing someone that your stream's worth that. And the reason I say that is because you're already providing it for free. So to then get someone to give you £4 a month for something you're already doing regardless of that money. So the other way to look at it is, if you do a shop, they're paying 3 times as much, but you're still getting roughly the same cut if you take away like delivery and everything else. So, you know, doing that is a good avenue. So yeah, Sundays and doing late nights from like 12 midnight onwards. I know some people can't do that, because I'm fortunate enough that I'm in control of my hours and everything. But that's had a discernible difference in people chatting on our stream. We regularly have people chatting on our stream now. I have moderators, which helps. So yeah, Sundays during the day and night times around 10 onwards, which is why one of the decisions I've made this week is I originally streamed from 6 till 9, I think it was, and I've just bumped it up till 8 till 11, so that people late night in the UK can watch, and people who are just leaving work in some areas of America can catch it as well. So yeah, it's just finding out what time to do it at what time. But yeah, the answer statistically is Sundays.
I know that whenever I write something, I always post it on N4G, and their traffic after 5:30 in the afternoon like skyrockets.
Yeah.
like over doubles because America wakes up effectively.
Yeah.
So
Well, if you think about it, if I was originally streaming at 6 o'clock, right, and even if you take take Central Time, which obviously middle of America, 6 hours difference, that's 12 o'clock at 12 p.m. So what audience can I get? Only people who are not working during the day. So I've got to take that into consideration. Whereas if you stream for a couple of hours at midnight and we're doing Call of Duty, which allows people to join. If they have a PS4, we say to them, all we want is a follow and you can join us, and that's been hugely successful for us. That's really worked.
That's a pretty good idea, actually. Yeah.
Although you get the whole, why aren't you doing it on Xbox? That would be so. And then I'm like, I keep explaining to people. I had this argument with one of our moderators, who's awesome. He's a moderator from Louisiana. A guy called his tag's called Nowhere, and he's fantastic. He's a great moderator, and I'm really lucky to have one. And but I had this argument with him. He's like, well, I want you to play on Xbox so I can play with you. And I'm like, but then all the people who've joined us on PS4, we'd still have the same problem. I can't literally stream two things at once. So, I would still, regardless of whether I had an Xbox One, I still couldn't. I'd have to, what would I do? Just alternate different days. The only way I can get around that is hopefully maybe if I get a person who contributes who owns an Xbox One and do it on a different day maybe. I don't know. But yeah, literally me doing it both at the same time is literally impossible. So sometimes you get people who ask stuff that's literally impossible. I'm just going to do some blatant advertising here because it's the only mug I have around me.
Sorry, I used that One Up Gaming mug earlier on.
Sweet.
David's wearing his One Up Gaming t-shirt, and he's got a podcast thing in the back.
Oh, awesome. It's great, isn't it? It's great having merchandise stuff.
But the problem is, I was going to ask you, how much is your sort of t-shirts and stuff? Because, I'll get a bit further back. Ripping my head off. I've got that t-shirt there.
That's nice.
And it's got, I don't know if you can see the back, but it's got the back.
That's really cool.
And these cost me roughly about £12 each to get made up.
Okay.
So, I was just wondering, how much is your sort of t-shirts cost you roughly?
Cool, I can tell you that. Yeah, I don't know whether or not I'm breaking any sort of contract agreement with my company with other people, but I'll say what I think I can say.
Yeah.
I can't really give you. I guess I can't really tell you how much they're made, but they're made for. But I can tell you what the prices are on the site. So basically, in a nutshell, because I've dealt with t-shirt companies before, because I've used another one before these guys, but these guys did it cheaper, and I actually think. Because really, in a nutshell, if you don't go to I know this is a long-winded answer, but I'm just basically saying if you don't go to a t-shirt based people, printing firms are going to charge you more for t-shirts because it's more complicated to do, and that's the mistake I made when I first started. So the first ones are a different make by a different manufacturer. So the ones I gave to, because I did this really what I thought was nice. All the first 10 people who were guests on my show, because my goal is to have a guest on every week, and I'm pleased that that's, other than the hosted ones, which is we just deliberately don't ask a guest to be on. But I deliberately gave 10 t-shirts to the first 10 guests as a thank you for being on, because I bought quite a few of them in bulk. So when I went to that company, my point is they charge you by the amount that you do rather than and it's just done because they do it in a more difficult way. They charge you more per t-shirt than you would if you went to a specific one. Is basically the point I'm making. So these guys who do all these different design t-shirts do it a lot cheaper without you losing the quality because they specialize in t-shirt stuff mainly. It's like a printing for mugs and stuff rather than just like banners and everything and printing like.
So you're talking about companies like Vistaprint and that kind of thing?
Yeah, so it's done more like that, but obviously like the quality is better. And one of the things that made me go with these guys, not only because they're nice, the company's called Blue Cyborg, and they're really cool friends of mine. I know Andrew who runs it fairly well. And,
you'll have to send me the email address, and because I'm interested in setting up a sort of shop on the. But as I say, for me to do what I was doing with these. They were costing me, as I say,
you've got to get
£12 to make, and then it was like £2-3 to post them out. So it was £15 before I even started.
Yeah. So basically, the answer to your question, then, if you're asking in that sense, is you really need someone to do it for you, because it just. I had the same problem, and I made the same thing. Probably cost me around about the amount you ought to get the ones I was doing, and I wasn't even selling them. I was just giving them out to staff and people who were contributing.
That's what I did. I've given all my staff T-shirts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because obviously when you go into conventions and stuff, you want them to wear it because it's the brand essentially. So so Blue Cyborg, what I did for a percent to obviously cut the profits so they get profits and we get profits, is that he takes care of everything. So what's great about that is all my job is a bit like, sort of the Dana White of UFC for me, is that all I've got to do is spend my time doing what I'm doing and selling my brand. And then people will go to that site and he takes care of everything. So the shirts are currently right now, I think, are $12.75 for the just one with geekapocalypse.com on the front, so just the logo. And then it's $14.75 for the logo with the podcast logo on the back. So it's not as complicated as the one you're wearing now. But the advantage is that I have a design. I basically have a design agreement with them, which you will if I'm assuming you own your logo and everything else. So you'll get a design agreement with them. So basically, any design you come up with, you basically give them permission to use your design. You get an extra bit of percentage for what you sell. So you really look at it as like the percentage may sound like you're only getting a less percentage, but you think about it, that's of the whole price. So let's say, for argument's sake, you get 10%. Then 10% will be of the whole price, but it's not 10% of the whole profit. It could be 50% of the whole profit because you don't know how much it's made for. I actually know how much our T-shirts are made for, but that's one of the things I don't think I can say because that's.
Well, as you say, for me.
But that's really cheap.
I was selling the T-shirts.
Awesome.
I think I was trying to sell them for about 15 quid. So I was making maybe £1 per T-shirt, if that.
Yep.
So I mean, you're basically saying, if they're like £12, you get 10%. So I'll be getting like £1.50 or whatever.
All I'll say, just to kind of cover myself and answer your question is. You'll get more than that. So you should do it. I mean, the only other thing I can think of is yours may be slightly more because, as I say, the disparity in T-shirts, which I imagine people know who've been on my shop already, is the logo is it's less money for the one with the logo, so obviously because you're getting two logos, one on the front, one on the back, and that's the difference in the price, literally.
Yeah, I mean, I could get this one for £9 if it was just the front, but because I got the back colour print, it was put up to £12. But we've got Sean, who hasn't been on for a while. He was thinking of a logo design of all of our little catchphrases that we say, so it's just loads of words all over the front.
Sweet. Well, we were thinking, one of the things I was thinking of doing is, obviously once the Twitch gets more, because obviously everyone should have sort of a goal of what to do with Twitch and everything. And I'm thinking once my Twitch gets more exposure and everything, obviously the great thing, the reason I was bringing up the design point is that if you come up with a design like the one you've just said, because for example, since we've been starting on Twitch, we've already come up with some memes. Like when I was doing Bloodborne, I kept saying axe to the face. So that's become a thing that we say in chat. There's also Dwarf Nipples, which is based on Dwarf, the indie game Dwarfs. I don't know if you've played that. The guy from Yogcast does the voice. Honestly, great fun game. A good thing to stream because you just make fun of it because it's really silly. And you're a bunch of dwarfs and you've got like dwarf servants and you've got to like go looking for gold, obviously. And you've got to basically, it's a bit like lemons and you're trying to keep them alive. And it's very, very funny. And the reason we came up with Dwarf Nipples is because the guy who did the tutorial, this dwarf who comes up, who's voiced by the guy from Yogcast, he has just really pointy nipples, and just everyone in the chat that was watching me just kept going, I'm really trying to listen to you, Stephen, but all I can keep thinking is dwarf nipples, dwarf nipples, dwarf nipples, because this guy had like really pointy nipples. And then that's a great way that's what Twitch is great for, like people just come up with random stuff. Also, there was a game like Bloodborne, because of how difficult it is, you can get very angry and over emotional, so I kept like wanting to flip things, and then in chat people were saying I should have I should have a small table to flip, and then it became the meme flip table. So basically, because as I'm sure you've looked into with Twitch, is that you can get emoticons, but I've been looking into this, is that you have to have a Twitch partnership to be able to do that, which is annoying because that's way down the line. But because I was thinking of trying to do it independently and just getting people to donate through PayPal, and I'll just give them the emotes, but you can't do it that way because Twitch want to cut. So the emoticons would be like axe to the face, dwarf nipples, flip table. Duke it up, which is a but because we played a card game where I kept saying duke it up for no apparent reason, and that became a thing. So every time something humorous happens, everyone's like duke it up, because it sounds like turn it up, like so I don't know. But yeah, there's been loads. So yeah, so we're thinking to what I'm referring to is that we'll probably do a t-shirt like you're saying where we put some stuff on the back and that. But the only thing I'll say is that yours might be slightly more expensive than mine just because it's a little bit more colours and everything, because we're just going for like one colour, one stuff. But it doesn't mean that we're not going to go into, because I want to do something in relation to Robot Jocks, because I keep mentioning that as my send-off on the podcast. So I want to kind of do like a robot-y Geek Apocalypse logo-y type thing. So we're having a design thing, you're always going to get 10%.
1989 movie there.
Sorry?
Are you talking about the 1989 movie Robot Jocks?
Wasn't it like 93? I thought it was later than that.
I thought it was very late 80s. I might be wrong, but...
It might be, but for some reason I'm thinking like it was 92. It was made by Stuart Gordon, and it starred the great Gary Graham, who I will officially announce on this very podcast. I am trying to get on the show because it would just make sense. Like, he's not very well known now, and he's although it has been announced he's going to be in the next Star Trek. But,
sorry, Robot Jocks, IMDb, 1989.
Oh, go you. Go you. A film that I absolutely adore. I for some reason thought it was like later than that, but anyway.
There
yeah, good, go you. But
See, I'm a fountain of knowledge of crap.
It's not crap. It's the greatest gay movie ever.
I actually really enjoyed it. It's really good. Oh.
It is, yeah. It's so terrible. It's great, but it's not as terrible as Mega Sharkfish Giant Octopus or something. But
I've not seen that.
Yeah. Oh, you should watch that. Like, get some guys around, like the One Up Gaming guys. Get them round and just watch them.
I'll tell you what. I think it's that movie. Who's the main star of it?
In Robot Jocks?
No, the
Mega Shark. No idea.
Yeah. Wasn't it the guy that was in 90210, the original series?
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't recognise anybody.
We were in discussions with him to voice a character in our animated TV show.
Sweet. That sounds good. I feel like Gary Graham's agent, but I was on Gary Graham's website the other day and he said he did voiceover work, so if you're interested.
It was all going swimmingly well, and then our main star sort of stabbed someone and got put in prison.
Really? So, that sounds awful.
That's put down for all things, isn't it?
Yeah. Welcome to the down portion of the podcast.
I don't know if he's been put in prison or whatever, but I know he's like, is it house arrest, whatever you call it? He's still going to court, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Ooh, I can tell you. There was something I mentioned on my podcast the other day. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. There's a guy, right? Whenever I get asked about, interview technique for podcasts and various other things, I always mention this one guy, and he's been caught in trouble, and I've been talking about this the last few days. There's a guy called Juan Gameshi who runs QTV in Canada. It's on the CBC network, which is kind of like their version of the BBC. It's the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, and he did this radio show that I absolutely loved and I always say to people, you can either do things one or two ways. You can do an interview where it's very easy going and you think of a question as you respond to the guest accordingly and ask a question based on what they're saying, or you write questions down and do it that way, do it formally. But I always say this Juan Gameshi guy, I'm always like, if you ever wanted to do it with questions on a sheet and lots of preparation, I always looked at this guy and said to people, look at this guy's stuff on YouTube and stuff, because they upload them on their YouTube channel, because he still does it pre-prepped, but the way that he delivers it implies that it isn't planned, but I can tell through my experiences that he's definitely, you can even see the questions popping up on his laptop, like, oh, this question sounds good here, but the way he delivers it sounds like he's thinking on his feet. So he has a really good approach to it, and it's his style. And that's what I say to people, like, come up with your own style, a variation of one of them two things. And so I'd really love them for that, but then I found out, someone let me know that, like, oh, have you seen this? And an article was on Twitter, and it was, he's been done for sexual assault, and he's now in Toronto court. And apparently, like, he would, like, he sexually assaulted, like, half of his staff, and they just didn't say anything. And so he's in court now, and apparently, like, 12 other people have, like, come out. It's sort of like, he's like the Jimmy Savile of Canada, like, it's just, and I'm like, oh my god, I really like this guy, and it comes back to the whole sort of Michael Jackson thing, like, can you let go of the fact that he potentially did something with kids and his music's great? Like, I don't know, it's, everything's changed, guys, everything's changed, I just can't like him anymore. So yeah, it's amazing how things can change so drastically, but there you go. So I'd just mention as well, I mean, you don't have to use this, but I'd just say that, like, so our Twitch channel is the same name as my podcast, so it's twitch.tv/Geek Apocalypse. We're on Twitter at Geek_Apocalypse, and we're fans of this show, and we just want, I'm just really, really happy for you guys, like, I really am, like, doing 100's awesome. When did you guys start?
Technically, I started on my own, and, oh, he's just sent me another, sorry.
Alright.
We're about to head out to Japanese hot spring.
Wow, that sounds awesome.
Reply. We want a picture of your wife. Oh. We want a picture of your wife.
Alright, David.
Okay. So,
Whoa,
not satisfied with
guys, wait a sec, my phone's going off. What? You want a picture of my wife?
So yeah,
he's stalking me.
When we sort of started the podcast, I didn't actually have a microphone or anything. I literally talked into an MP3 digital recorder.
Sweet.
And then I exported that onto the PC. But she would set me on fire.
Sweet.
And so basically, I just put it straight on the PC, chopped out the middles, added it all together. That's why I did the beginning bit, the middle bit, and the end. Just because when I was recording on the MP3 player, it only did like 20 minutes at a time or something stupid.
I just remember that, yeah. God.
So I think there's about 5 episodes that are just me on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And then I decided to get a cheap microphone and use Skype, and that's when Sean came in. And I think we started 2013, January 2013.
Alright, cool. Yeah, that makes sense, because I think if I hadn't had my problems and going into hospital and everything, I probably would have been around about the same you guys are, so that makes sense. Because I started around about the same time.
I mean, I think I started before that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, someone's actually sent us an answer for the what goes down but never goes up. I tell you what, it's technically right.
What did he say?
It's not what we were looking for. He said gravity.
No, gravity doesn't go down. What? What?
I suppose gravity is the force that pulls you down. Gravity doesn't actually go down.
Air resistance is what pulls you up. Yeah.
Gravity doesn't pull you down. There's no gravity doesn't have down or up. It just pulls you towards something.
All right. God.
It's okay, Eddie. Calm down. Just breathe.
That's why I'm saying he's technically right, because
when you first look at it, it's like it makes sense.
Nothing frustrates me more than people getting like basic science wrong. Nothing frustrates me more. But it's something where like you learn this when you're like 9 years old. You learn it when you're 9 years old, and you just completely forget it. It's just baffling.
What about force? But gravity does pull you down, though.
No, it pulls you towards something. It doesn't pull you down exactly. Because there's the gravitational effect in space, but there's no up or down in space.
There isn't gravity. There isn't any gravity in space.
There's a gravitational pull.
There isn't any gravity in space.
No, the sun's gravitational pull is the reason that the Earth goes in a circle around it. It's the same reason we have a moon.
Yeah, but the gravity that they're referring to is what there's no gravity.
Exactly,
Hence
and that
why
gravity isn't
they go
pulling us
up.
down.
They don't pull down.
Yeah, but it doesn't pull us down. It pulls us towards the middle.
I want to go to
Welcome to the One Up
bed.
Physics
Towards the middle of
podcast.
what?
I want to go to bed.
I'm tired. That's the song,
Down to the
yeah.
middle.
I'm tired and I want to go to bed.
Like literally, if the center of the Earth was above us, if gravity was affecting above us, we would go up instead of down.
Make any sense?
Literally,
Yeah,
gravity.
he's not right, but if he chooses to be, if he wants to be right,
I am right. That's the problem. I am right. That's the problem.
So, it's been the One Up Gaming 100 podcast special.
This is how we end our podcast.
Just end
Just
it.
abruptly.
Just end it.
yeah.
There's the
Just when it's
chapter.
getting good, he finishes it.
Just abruptly, like.
If I don't move within the next 2 minutes, I'm going to piss myself.
That would be a great way to end the 100th episode.
It wouldn't.
They just stand up and just go, and then just.
I'm wearing all black, you'd never really see.
Exactly. Keep
But
an
it's
eye on
smell.
yourself now.
Yeah,
It's smell tomorrow.
If anyone's listening or interested, we're playing late night Call of Duty after this. So if anyone wants to join, we're on.
If anyone's interested, I'm going to go for a piss and I'm going to go to bed because I've got work tomorrow.
Oh, Saturday at work. Oof.
And
Oh,
then
are
I've
you
got-
guys are you guys watching the Mayweather fight tomorrow?
Yes.
Ah, who do you think's gonna win?
Pacquiao.
Come on, Ruckus.
Obviously.
Ruckus.
Obviously.
I knew there was a reason I liked you.
Don't call him Ruckus. Don't call him Ruckus.
Oh, can you tell me?
Okay, over here. Have a good show. Grats on 100. Don't call him Ruckus. You have to call him Jizzle.
No, Chocolate Thunder.
Chocolate Thunder. No, I like Jizzle better.
I like Chocolate Thunder better. It just has a ring to it.
Yeah, I'm going to be supporting Pacquiao. I'm trying to find a place to in town to watch it. Because the time difference is crazy, isn't it? Because it's going to be west. Jesus.
Won't it be like 3 in the morning or something stupid?
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 in the
So
morning.
far away.
Yeah, because it's in Vegas, so it's like West Coast time, so it's like 8 hours difference, isn't it, or something crazy?
So are you a West Coast or an East Coast posse?
What?
What?
I don't know.
What?
It's
What?
very late.
Very late.
You know the rap battles, the West or East Coast.
You're not good at this. You're not good at this.
Says the man who has many rap battles.
I don't know how to say this without being offensive, but I'm going to try anyway.
Oh, yeah.
You're so white it hurts, man. You're so white it hurts.
Oh, God.
Brilliant.
And
That's
that's
how you
how
have
you
to
end
end.
the podcast.
God damn it.
You have to end on that. That's awesome.
That's how we end it.
There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go.
Yeah, we're not going to beat that. You've hit what's known as the peak of podcasting.
That's it, yeah.
This can't continue.
Every second is a second wasted now.
So, thank you guys for coming on. It's been an honour and a pleasure, and all the other words that people say when they don't care. Tomorrow, live from 8, we'll have John Hare on. We'll have more giveaways, and I'm going to go and have a piss.
Thanks, guys. Congrats on 100.
Thank you, and hopefully we'll be on your show soon.
Yeah, hopefully that's sorted.
Alright, thank you.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Hey guys, Justin here. I just wanted to say that I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you a lot. Yes, you in particular. In that way. And I wanted to say, I think you're great. I've always said that about you. And I was wondering, if you think we're great, if you could give us a quick rating on iTunes, we'd really appreciate it. It would really, really help us out in that, podcasty sort of way. And if you're feeling particularly festive, perhaps even a little saucy, maybe stop by our Patreon page at www.patreon.com/OUG and see if you can't slip a few bucks our way. After all, every little penny or whatever space money they use in Europe helps out the show. Thanks for listening. OUG Gaming will always be free, but with your support, we can always move forward and always be better.